So, why did you name your special Thoughts and Prayers?
I don't really have a joke that's thoughts and prayers, but I just wanted to talk about it. I just think that it's like a phrase that Americans say too much and we hear too much, and it doesn't fucking mean anything, and it doesn't do anything, and it's something that needs to go away. And I just kind of wanted to pick fun at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very funny Cliff
shit. I'll just wipe after.
Was that a good call, booking John to open? I thought you guys would like him. It's good to be here in Asheville. I feel Asheville, North Carolina. I feel like I can't do a show here without starting with this joke. You may know it. I've done it for years, but I don't want this show to be any different. Here it goes. Before we get the show started, there's a Subaru Outback with a coexist sticker getting towed. So that's how you clear a room in Asheville, North Carolina. It also says eat local organic on the back. So it's got a bike rack. I love y'all. I appreciate you very much supporting me all these years. Can finally sell this place out. Only took me 14 years. I about gave up on year 13, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm glad I stuck it out. I wanted to film my first special in Wilmington because that's home now. That's where I live and feel a deep affinity for the place. But I always said I wanted to film my second special in Asheville because this feels like home too. And it feels like home because of you guys, because of the people that have been supporting me for years and years. And I feel like I owe you all money. Now that I'm doing better, I will try and pay you back for all the times you've seen me. But it's good, and I love this place. And I'm sorry for what you've been going through for the last 6 or 7 months. I know it's been heart-wrenching because it's been heart-wrenching to watch from a distance. So I know it's been heart-wrenching to be in the middle of it. And I'm even more sorry that the tiny-handed, dirty diaper, pedophile piece of shit in our White House thought he should use it as a political football to trick stupid people. And then he got back into our White House and is now withdrawing the funding that you need to rebuild this place because he's a piece of shit, like all the cowards that support him. But I know your hearts for each other and for these communities, and I know that your love for each other and this place, and I know that your love will rebuild this place. And I want that same love to rebuild this country when we forcibly remove these soft-handed, pencil-arm, country club fascist fucks from the levers of power. Tell them I said that. So we're marching after the show to the White House. They'll never see it coming. Some of you are gonna need help, but that's okay. We'll have buses. All right, no yelling. We're recording this. Don't be yelling shit out. Don't yell shit out, trying to talk during the show, but laugh a lot. Like, whatever's going on in your life, leave it out there. This is a chance. I'm serious. This is a chance. If you're holding on to something heavy, like Mark Robinson, you know, just leave it out there. He's a big boy, you know? Right? What about Mark Robinson? We'll talk about projection. That dude's like, we gotta stop these trans. And they're like, Mark Robinson loves trans porn. Talk about projection. Everything this dude said he hated, he was doing, we found out. He's like, family values, Christian. And it came out he was having an affair with his wife's sister. Did y'all know that? A lot of people only heard the part of the news where he called himself a black Nazi and admitted to watching trans porn. And then somebody also came out and was like, he used to get off work and come to the porn store I worked at. He used to get off work at the pizza place and come to the porn store. And that's hilarious on its face. But my first question was, how far was it between the pizza place and the porn store? Because if Papa John's was right beside, you know, Adam and Eve, then that's not that weird. But if he had to drive across town with a pizza to go eat it at the porn store, that's weird as shit, right? He was all family values, Jesus this and Jesus that. He was having an affair with his wife's sister, and one of the things they like to do is... One of the things that he liked to do is pee on her butthole. I can't even say it. I mean, I'm not one to kink shame. I can be a little freaky too, but peeing on buttholes never came up. Never seemed like one of the options. I think it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's now my pickup line for my girlfriend. We'll be out on date night with like a way overpriced dinner, and she's like drinking some white wine. I'll be like, she's like, what? I'm like, when we get home? She's like, stop. I'm like, hey, for real. We get home, we're gonna get in that inflatable hot tub I got you for Christmas. And then after that, I'm gonna pee on your butthole. And she does not like it. She's pretty easygoing, but she doesn't like it when I say that. Anyway, I'm getting off track. This isn't even part of the show. Just in case you stumbled in accidentally. If you didn't like that, you're gonna fucking hate the rest of the show. Before I talk about the South, I'd like to offer up my resume. My last name is Cash. I am related to Johnny. We came from the same William Cash, who came from Scotland in 1665. He's my fifth cousin twice removed. I don't know what that means, but I have some really eccentric, nerdy cousins who are really smart, and they figured it all out and made a book about it, and I believe everything they say. And when I say they're cousins, you picture somebody my age. They're actually my dad's cousins, but they're still technically my cousins, but they're more grandpa age. And their names are Ned and Ted. And they're brothers, and they live together in the same farmhouse that they grew up in a cornfield in Shelby, North Carolina. And they call each other Brother Ned and Brother Ted. And I didn't make up any of that. That is a little peek behind the curtain into my background. Related to Johnny Cash, my dad worked on a pit crew when they still raced NASCAR on dirt for a guy named Stick Elliott. He was the first of the Elliots. My dad loved NASCAR. Only time I ever saw my dad cry was when Dale Earnhardt passed away. I couldn't believe it. I was like, Dad, you didn't even cry when Nanny passed. He was like, Nanny didn't go fast in a circle, dog. He was upset. I get it. My mom talks in tongues. Yeah. And I just feel like that's a redneck resume strong enough to say whatever the fuck I want to about the South. And if you get mad, we're probably cousins and we'll figure it out after the show, all right? If you get upset, we'll get on a Zoom call with Cousin Ned and Cousin Ted. We'll work through it as a family. When I say that my mom talks in tongues, I should say that in the past tense. She used to talk in tongues. She has dementia now, and there's not a lot of silver linings to having dementia. But in my humble opinion, her forgetting that she talks in tongues is definitely one of them. I'm sad she has dementia. I'm thrilled she doesn't talk in tongues anymore. Because it's creepy as shit. I don't know if you've ever been around it. She would do it at the house, and I'd be like, please don't do it at the house. Please. Please don't do it other places. Do it at the certain place where y'all do it together. Don't do it outside of there. I grew up very religious. The tongue talking didn't come till later, thank goodness. That was after I was already out of the house. And then I came back. But when COVID happened, she used to do it at the building. You know, she went to a church with all the other tongue talkers. But when COVID happened, they were like, we don't think the Spirit will protect us from this, so better distance or whatever. So they started doing tongue talking prayer group on the phone, which is kind of crazy because she would put it on speakerphone at the house, and I would be there, and I don't live with her, but I do stay with her for extended periods of time in between touring, and all my stuff is there, and I don't have my own place, but so. And now, I don't live with her now because I'm a loser. I live with her now because I'm taking care of her. You know what I mean? She has dementia. I mean, I was already living there when she got it, but still. It would have been a real dick move to move out then, you know? Like, I kind of been enjoying keeping my stuff here, but now she got this dementia, I'm probably going to get a place. Somebody else could step in here now. I decided to stick it out, you know? It seemed like the right thing to do. So I'm down, at the time I was living on the first floor, okay? And it's not a basement, it's above ground. Every once in a while, one of these MAGA people insulting me online will be like, you probably live in your mom's basement. I'm like, it's not a basement, it's not subterranean. It's just a first floor, fuckface. And she lives down there now, we live upstairs. But I was living on the first floor at the time. So I came upstairs, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was getting a Capri Sun, but I just, like a proud boy, and I hear her going, I'm like, oh, it must be Thursday, you know? So I come around the corner into the kitchen, and I see her. She's in the kitchen. She's got her phone out on the counter on speakerphone, so I can hear her going, and I can hear about 22 other people going, and I'm like, oh, gives me a goosebumps, you know? And I kind of walk past her, and I'm like, I think she's like kind of kneeled down, kind of like in a prayer position, and I go to the refrigerator and get my drink out, and I look over, I realize she's in the junk drawer. She's got this phone up there, everybody's tongue talking, feeling the Spirit. Y'all understand that you tongue talk when you're in the Spirit. The whole concept is the Holy Spirit has taken over your body and is talking through you in a language that you and none of your friends understand. He wants to tell you something, but he can't quite get it out. That's the concept of tongue talking, right? Well, she's got her phone sitting on the counter, and she's in the junk drawer actively looking for what I can only assume was either a ketchup packet or a bent Post-it note. She is like I'm like, you're not in the Spirit, you're in the junk drawer. You can't be talking to the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost while you're looking for a paper clip and a rubber band. Whatever's in the junk drawer, can we all throw out the junk drawer? You're not gonna use that bent Post-it note. It's the sugar packet that they give you with the cut flowers. I need this to-go fork. My family was so religious. I grew up on the far right end of the evangelical conservative spectrum. For real, as religious as you can get. Every Wednesday, youth group. Every Sunday, church. I went on church ski trips and church summer camp and church canoeing trip. I mean, every trip. I went on to all the trips. My parents are like, thank God there's a trip this weekend. Have a good time. Looking now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe we should join a church. Wait, what? It's only $50 a kid? Y'all take it for the weekend? Don't you fucking touch these kids, all right? Call me when you get back. That's some cheap-ass babysitting right there. I never thought about it until right now. I was like, holy shit, maybe we should be religious. Yeah. First time I ever got frisky with a girl was in a church van coming back from a ski trip. Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy, just, rubbing and stuff. Rubbing stuff the Lord wouldn't have wanted me to rub. I came home, I was like, Mom, I kind of like that Gina girl. She's like, Cousin Gina? I was like, oh, shit. I didn't know. Somebody should have told me that probably months ago. I didn't. Were y'all going to mention that we were related? How embarrassed. Sweet girl, still friends on Facebook. I'll give you a little glimpse into how religious we are. When I was about 7, my parents sat me and my brother down. My sister was already off to college, big age difference. My parents are pro-life, and so we were mistakes. And so they sat us down and they were like, listen, this is what they said. They were like, listen, if anybody ever tries to come pick you up from school or practice or a game or a party or church and you don't know them and you've never seen them before, you don't go with them unless they know the password. And even as a 7-year-old, I was like, we know 500 people. Can you send one of the 500 people that we know? Right? Did they all go down with you in your imaginary doomsday scenario, you fucking psychopath? They were like, don't go with anybody unless they know the password. And the password was Jesus Christ. I was cool with it at the time. I was like, that's fine. Everybody loves Jesus, or almost everybody, Easy to remember, no problem. But now, looking back on it as a grown man, I'm like, that could have gone very wrong. Some creepy kidnapper dude just pulls up in a van with no windows. He's like, hey, kids, get in the van. Like, we can't go anywhere with you unless you know the password. Jesus Christ. Where are we going? To the woods. That got sad at the end. I apologize. That got sad. Got a little. Everybody's fine. He never came, okay? I mean, he might have, but we weren't there. I'm just saying. Everybody's okay. That's all I'm getting at. Super religious. Went to church. Went to youth group every Wednesday, and it was the whole youth group thing. It was like the band. There was a screen with lyrics and a smoke machine, and God played drums. It was like, you got to sing with your hand up or you don't love the Lord. Stuff like that. I remember sitting through an entire sermon where the youth minister didn't talk about anything except masturbation for an hour. And I was like 15, and I was trying not to laugh for an hour. And I was looking at the other dudes trying not to laugh. Like, dude, you talk about preaching to the choir. I mean, bunch of 15-year-old boys. You're getting here telling experts about fucking... I had a black belt at masturbation at the time. I was like, sir, I consider myself a better professional, and I think a lot of the shit you're saying is incorrect. He kept calling it self-abuse. I was like, dude, you are doing it wrong, dog. You need to get some coconut oil, first of all. What in the world? Self-abuse. I got a fucking patch. I got an Eagle Scout patch for self-abuse. I love the South. I don't love everything that we do or everything that we've done. We've done and continue to do some stupid shit. But I do think that we do it in the funniest ways, Because other places, other people in other places in other states also do racist, bigoted, backwards, hateful shit. Ours just makes the headlines because it's the funniest. That's what I think. Florida, for example, okay? I'm not talking about them fucking alligators and stuff. I'm talking about their legislation. Super hateful, Ron DeSanctimonious, real piece of shit. But if you're gonna make some hateful legislation, make it hilarious. That's what I say. And the don't say gay law is hilarious. Because you can't talk about the law without breaking the law. You picture a couple redneck buddies hanging out together like, hey man, what you think about that new law? Which one? I'd rather not say. I ain't trying to get arrested. I just had to drive from Charlottesville. I drove from Charlottesville to Nashville. Charlottesville is a cool city. Charlottesville gets a bad rep because of the whole tiki torch thing. What you need to understand is those people came from somewhere else to approach. Charlottesville is a cool, progressive college town. They were taking down the Confederate monuments, the participation trophies. They were taking them down, right? That's what that is. Come on. People are like, oh, fuck these participation trophies. I'm like, you're right, dude. We should take them all down. But you take that red hat off, too. Y'all didn't win. But Charlottesville was removing the statues. People came from other places to protest. That's what, I know y'all probably know that, but a lot of people don't. I know because every time I would be like, got a show in Charlottesville, they'd be like, watch out for the tiki torch guys. It's like, they were from Ohio, fuckface. I'm like, how funny would it be if those tiki torch dudes were like how mad would they be if they realized those tiki torches were made in Mexico, Because I don't know if you've ever looked, but they all are. They all are. I think the leader must have removed the stickers before he handed them out. Can you just picture one of them like, hey, Shane, what's hecho mean, bro? What the fuck is hecho? I was driving through a rural part. I think I had already made it to Tennessee, and I passed this house, and it was hilarious. I'm just going to break it down for you the way my mind processed it. Because, your mind's processing things whether you're consciously thinking about them or not. So I'm driving in my van house, going about 60 miles an hour, and I can kind of see it coming. And my brain's like double wide fence, nice fence, well-built fence. I used to tinker with houses and stuff. I built some fences, so I kind of, like I say, did a good job on that fence. As I'm getting closer, I'm like, oh wow, 6x6 posts. That's a damn nice fence for a double wide, Like this guy might own the fence company. Grass is like waist high, and then I see just a big old cornbread-fed country-ass dude weed eating it. Cut off jean shorts, knee-high boots, mullet, very long beard, And he's weed eating it, and the whole yard is high, but about half of it has been weed eaten. And I know, as somebody who's done this myself, I'm like, oh, his lawnmower broke. And he's been meaning to fix it or get it fixed, but he hasn't yet, and he finally said, fuck it, I'm gonna have to weed eat this yard. And he's halfway through it, and he is pissed. And his shoulders are gonna be sore for 3.5 weeks. I've done this exact thing before. This is the best shoulders workout you could possibly, just this, for 45 hours. So as I get closer, I'm like, man, nice fence. So if you've ever built a fence, you have a post every 8 feet. You gotta have at least a 4x4 post, but if you're a baller, you got a 6x6 post. And this guy had 6x6 posts. Normally on a fence post, you put a little cap on it, maybe a wooden cap, maybe copper if you're rich, who knows. This guy took it an extra step. He went a little further, and I appreciated the effort. He had a birdhouse on every single fence post. That's not even the funny part. I thought that was sweet, personally. I was like, look at this big-ass, giant, country-ass dude loves birds. I think that's nice. I think that shows a sensitive side. I also love birds. I love birds. I love wildflowers. I have bird feeders and bird houses. Love birds. And so I was like, I think this is sweet. This guy's a sweet guy. I was immediately conflicted because the birdhouses were all painted like a rebel flag. Loves birds, hates people with a tan. I immediately felt inner turmoil. And I could not stop laughing. I was like, why do you need a rebel flag birdhouse every 8 feet all the way around your double wide? I want to let people know where I stand. I'm very into heritage, not hate. That's what they say, right? Heritage, not hate. I'm like, I am seeing a real pattern here. People that love heritage also love trailers. What a coincidence. All these history professors living in mobile homes. I never would have guessed it. But I turned around and I had to, you know. I passed that, I laughed for about a minute, and I was like, I gotta go back. So I did a U-turn. And if you follow me online, you know that I sometimes dress up in little costumes and imitate these folks. So I always have a little something close by. On this particular day, I had a hat that I had gotten at a gas station years before. I paid $11 for it. The hat is black. The flames on the bill are red. It just has flames on the whole bill. And it's got a cartoon lady in a bikini straddling a motorcycle like this. And it says, ride it like you stole it. I got it for $11 at a gas station years ago. It's been in multiple videos. But I was like, here we go. I put that hat on and I turned around. I went back, I pulled into the driveway. It took him a minute to see me. He was weed eating his heart out, you know? And he stopped, he just goes, what? I put my voice on. I said, hey, buddy, I love them birdhouses, man. He goes, thanks, man. I said, you build all them? He said, hell yeah, I built the fence too. I was like, man, they're bad as hell. Did you paint them too? He said, yep, me and my girl painted all of them. I said, you got any extra ones that you'd be willing to sell, or is this just your personal stash? And he goes, I got a couple I can let go of. And I said, what kind of birds you get in them birdhouses? Bet you don't get no blackbirds. I was like, come on, fist bump, racism. He didn't like it, and I just said, man, I love your beard, dude. That's longer than a list of reasons you're unaware that you vote against yourself. And then I put my foot on the gas and the brake at the same time, put it in reverse so I could make a quick getaway, and I said, Donald Trump's a pedophile, and I just pulled out of the driveway. Backed out and hauled out. He shot at me, but he only got one of my tires. I love the South, and I feel like I can talk shit about it because of my redneck resume that I mentioned earlier in the show. But I don't want other people to talk shit about it, you know? I don't want people from other places to talk shit about the South, and they do it to me a lot. I was in Portland, Oregon not long ago, and a lady comes up after the show, after I've done much of this same material, and she goes, are you really from the South? And in my head, I was like, no, dumbass, I just talked about it for 20 minutes to trick you. I'm a stinker. But I'm a polite Southern man, so I was like, yes, ma'am. And then she goes, I feel like Southerners are stupid. And I was like, oh shit, you said that out loud to my face. So you're supposed to think that quietly inside your own mind by yourself. Bless your heart. She didn't get it. She didn't get it all. She smiled. See you next time. Y'all get it. If you're not from here, let me tell you, bless your heart has two meanings. It either means I'm really sorry about your grandmother or go fuck yourself. And I meant it the second way. She didn't get it. She didn't understand. Like, what a crazy thing to say. All Southerners are stupid. You know, that pisses me off because I feel like at least 20% of us are not. I've read like 15 books, you know what I mean? Like, just enough to not be gay. It's crazy. But I think these people are in other parts of the country. I think sometimes they think that Southerners are stupid because of like history and facts and stuff. But, and like statistics and stuff. But also, and like our voting record and stuff like that. But also, But they haven't been here. They haven't been to all the cool, amazing cities in the South. You know, we got New Orleans and Austin and Nashville and Asheville. We got Miami. We got the Gulf of Mexico. And you can just get an applause break for saying a fact now. What a weird time to be alive. My whole comedy special should just me saying like common sense things. Standing ovation. Russia's not your friend. Vladimir Putin's not going to come to your birthday party at the bowling alley, you dumb fuck. Democracy is good. We should be nice to our allies. We should not start trade wars with our closest neighbors. It's like, they think about, I'm getting off track here, but think about this. They're like, we should piss off all our neighbors and all of our allies and then start a trade war with the other superpower. Let's defund the veterans and take money from the senior citizens that they paid into their entire lives. It's just like fucking every system in the country. It's like they're like anti-democracy, anti-allies, anti-veterans. It's like, that's all American shit. You know, what are you gonna do next week? Kick a bald eagle in the dick? What are you doing? But people think bad of the South because they haven't experienced how awesome the South is. And all they see is what they see on TV, and that's not good at all. Right? These television networks are deliberately making television shows to make us look bad, and we don't need any fucking help. That's what the news is for, right? When's the last time you saw a smart Southerner get interviewed about a storm? Never. There's never a dude on the news like, well, I'll tell you what, brother, that tornado come over the horizon there, and it just obliterated our view of the foliage and everything, because a lot of debris was loosened up because the velocity of the winds is really uncommon for a storm structure of this nature. I don't know how familiar y'all are with them, but the whole thing was really exacerbated by the level of precipitation that was coming down that evening, and we just felt fortunate to have extricated ourselves from the structure when we did, you know, and I think the storm's going to be detrimental to the community, but in the long run, I think you'll see a lot of synergy as the citizens pull together to rebuild. That never happens. It's always this dude, he's like, well, that twister come over there and picked my washing machine up off front porch, put it right down through my trampoline. It damn near killed my dog and knocked me plumb out. I woke up next morning, I was like, Misty, where's my Camaro? Fuck. It's embarrassing. Some of y'all are like, how's he know Daryl? I don't know how he knows. How's he know my cousin? Because he's my cousin too. You know the shows I'm talking about, right? It's all just camouflage and catfish fucking. Just fisting catfish with your sister or whatever. It's brutal, man. People in other parts of the country see that and they're like, what the fuck is happening down there? It's so embarrassing. It's like, hey, TV, you know what else we do in the South? We're here in North Carolina. We have the highest concentration of PhDs in the United States. Can we get a show? Can we get a show? Can we just get a documentary or something? Down in the deep South, Florida, Texas, Alabama, they're launching rockets into outer space. Can we get a show about the rockets? They're like, no, they're gonna race an alligator down here. We gotta be in the swamp today, maybe. Millions of people live in the South. 39 of them live in a swamp. They got their own show. They're on season 11 of Swamp Fuckers or whatever it's called. It's frustrating, you know? It's not helpful at all. But I was like pissed off about this show, Swamp People. And I hate to use the word in the definition, but it's about people in the swamp. So, spoiler alert. But I watched it because I wanted to understand, and it was pretty good. But it's kind of funny. But my favorite thing about the show is it has subtitles. Take your time. What I'm saying is it has captions like whether you choose them or not. You can't unchoose them. You understand? It doesn't matter what kind of TV you got or what kind of remote you got, you can't remove the captions. It's filmed in the United States of America, presumably with American citizens, but it has subtitles because you can't understand a fucking word any of them are saying. And they interview them, and the people are just like, how much may catfish? Like, I heard catfish at the end for sure. I definitely heard catfish. I think you said you're gonna make love to your sister, wrestle an alligator, and fist a catfish. I for sure heard catfish. But those dudes are the first ones to be like, you gonna come over here, you need to learn how to make language. It's like, sir, you can't speak the language. Your show has subtitles, fuckface. Read a book. It all started with Duck Dynasty. That was the first camouflage show. And that one became so popular that all the other networks were like, we gotta copy it exactly, you know? Because there hasn't been an original thought in the entertainment industry in decades. I don't know if you noticed, but we're on Spider-Man 42 and Superman 37. Right? Nobody's making up new shit. But so everybody mimicked Duck Dynasty, and here we are. But I know everybody knows what Duck Dynasty is, but you may not know the genesis story of it, so let me tell it to you real quick, just so we're all on the same page. The Pawpaw, or Papaw, depending on what county you're from, the Pop, the Poppy. Listen, I'm trying to be inclusive, coexist, and so, because there'll be one dude in the back, like, it's pee-pee, you son of a bitch. Like, I never heard pee-pee, I'm sorry. The Pappy Pee-pee from... Some of y'all got weird-ass names for your grandparents. The Papaw from Duck Dynasty, okay, let me back up. So the way that you hunt ducks is you blow into a duck fucking whistle, and it makes the ducks think you want to, like, 69 or whatever. And so they fly over to your field, and then you shoot them and eat them and stuff their body and keep it in your trailer. Nothing weird, you know? Just some good Christian American fun, family fun, nothing creepy. So he invented the best duck fucking whistle on the market. Now, I don't know what's so great about it. I maybe has an extra quack. I'm not 100% sure. And I do want to tell you, before anybody says, I know that that's not the technical term for the whistle. Because I had a fella tell me recently in Birmingham, Alabama. This dude came up after the show in full camouflage, and as I'm saying bye to people, he just leans in and goes, hey, buddy, it's called a duck call. I was like, okay, sir, duck fucking whistle's way funnier. Thanks for coming. Anyway, he invented the best duck fucking whistle on the market, and I mean, the ducks lose their shit. Like they've never, I mean, no whistle's ever done this well with the ducks, you know? They're flying through the air, squirting, like it's a mess. So, I didn't mean to say that. Sometimes I say things before I think about them. Sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain. Sorry I said squirting, but listen. I'm mostly sorry for the couples that are going to have to talk about it on the way home. The men that are going to have to pretend they don't know what it is. And the women that are going to have to pretend they can't do it. Hang in there, dudes. There's at least a few people that are like, I don't know what it is. It's pee. But listen. It's the best pee. It's the coolest pee. I mean, you know. It's not cool. It's warm. You know what I'm saying? It's pee. Back to the ducks. They love this whistle, right? I mean, it's the best whistle. So he made $1 gajillion off this whistle. Well, then somebody came along and they were like, hey, Paul, we love your duck fucking whistle. It seems like a natural progression would be to give you a network television show. And he was like, hell yeah, I bet I can get my relatives that look just like me to sit in the forest and talk about nothing for 19 years. And he did. And buddy, it is a fucking hit. These people are mega stars. So they made another gajillion from the show. That's 2 gajillion if you're an economist. It's a lot of bread, right? It's never work again money, you know? Well, then the show did so well, they were like, we need merch. You got to show that successful. You got to have merch. So now they got their own half aisle at Walmart, just Duck Dynasty boogie boards and cargo shorts and steering wheel covers, Duck Dynasty condoms, you know what I mean? I made the condoms up, but that'd be funny little camouflage condom, like, where'd the dick go? But listen, stay with me. So, made another gajillion from the merch. That's 3 gajillion if you're a financial planner. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's generational wealth, if you will. You know what I mean? A dynasty. It's a dynasty, right? That's like you could live your life on cruise control at that point. Just coast. You know, your great-great-grandchildren don't have to work. They can fuck ducks all day. You know what I mean? Just be content with what you have, but not in America. How much do you want? More, you know, got to do more. So then somebody came along and they were like, hey, Paul, would you like to get politically active? And he was like, hell yeah, I bet people are dying to know what I think about the issues. I know I was. And y'all won't believe this, but he's pretty conservative. And I know, I was surprised too. I thought he was probably an Antifa guy, but pretty far to the right. Yeah. And one of the first interviews he did was with GQ magazine, and he shouldn't have done it. And they asked him about gay marriage, and they shouldn't have. And he answered them, and he shouldn't have. But again, if you're gonna say or do hateful, bigoted shit, at least make it hilarious. And he did. I said, what do you think about gay marriage, Paw PP? He said, well, if you let men marry men, then people's gonna want to be doing it with animals. I was like, are you sure, Paw? That's a natural progression? A couple gay dudes get some rights after being together for 20 years. They're on their honeymoon in Cabo, hanging on the beach. And Andrew says to Gary, like, I just made those names up, but Gary, and he's like, you know, I didn't think I would feel different, but I really do. It's weird. I mean, it's just nice to finally have our legal rights recognized and have end-of-life rights and things like that, but I didn't think I would feel different. But I really do. It's nice. And I think we should get more pets to have sex with, of course. What a fucking idiotic thing to say. Like, that's who's going to have sex with an animal is my gay friend Steven with the $100 haircut. That's who it's going to be, the guy that exfoliates and moisturizes, makes me take my shoes off every time I come to his well-designed, well-decorated house. Doesn't even own a pet because he thinks they're messy. That's who's gonna make love to a beast? Okay. 10-4, Paw. Not you, not this creepy old swamp grandpa with the Rip Van Winkle beard down to your dick hole. Laying on the forest floor with twigs pulled over your body to disguise you as not being a predator and animal urine sprinkled around to hide your scent. Blowing into a whistle you specifically invented to convince a duck that you want to fuck it. Right? Like, Paw, will you just shut the fuck up and enjoy the last 5 years of your life? It's like, what a dumb thing to say, you know? To be clear, I don't give a shit that Paw opposes gay marriage. I'm not dumb. I don't think everybody's going to agree on every issue. I just want people to err on the side of kindness. You know what I mean? Right? And they don't seem to be able to do that. It's almost like they need to read the teachings of a guy named Jesus Christ. It's crazy. You know, like if we were going to play a game after the show, hey, thank you for coming to my special taping. After the show, everybody's going to get $10 to gamble. We're going to play a quick game of who's going to fuck that animal. Okay, here's your first contestant. Here's Steven in the Banana Republic suit. All right. Okay, and here's Paw in the animal rape uniform. Even people like me, like, it's him, man. He's a pretty good dude, but he probably fucked a duck today. It's like, and I get it. They don't understand. They don't understand gayness. They don't understand trans. What it's like, I get that you don't understand, but you don't understand there, and there either. You're not mean to that, you know? You don't go around picking on there, do you? Come on. And I don't expect them to understand pronouns. They're still struggling with regular nouns, right? Like, I don't know what a noun is. Now you want me to know what a professional noun is? Proud Boys. They didn't think that through very well, did they? Like, what were the other options they were considering? Cocky kids. Arrogant toddlers. Let's go with Proud Boys. So proud we cover our faces. Seems like something a fucking coward would do. I'm starting my own group. I'm starting the liberal antithesis to the Proud Boys. It's going to be called the Union Soldiers. And our slogan is, who's ready to lose again? Some of y'all are skeptical. People keep saying, we don't need to have a civil war. They got all the guns. Yeah, they also don't know how there and their work. I feel like we can outsmart it. I love my 7 and 8-year-old, but even if I gave them all the guns, I think I could still trick them. Because they have childlike minds. Their excuse is their children, but the other... People ask me sometimes, people go, what radicalized you? And I go, I'm not really radical. I just think that, like, we probably shouldn't take benefits away from veterans. Like, I don't think that's all that radical. Maybe we shouldn't cut the Social Security that senior citizens paid into their entire lives with the understanding that it would be there later to take care of them. That's not radical at all. Encouraging people to be nice to people that are different than them isn't radical. It's not radical. What radicalized you? I'm like, well, if I had to pick one thing, I would say it's probably when I realized that only the shittiest people in a society admire bullies. And I was 4 when I had that realization. Turns out I've been a libtard ever since. I think I got radicalized again when I found out about QAnon. Yeah, I know we all know what QAnon is, but do you know the conspiracy theories? Some of them are more prominent. You might know about Pizzagate. They think that Hillary Clinton was trafficking children out of the basement of a pizza place that doesn't have a basement. And I can understand how you would find that very believable if you think that an elderly man can get hit in the ear with an AR-15 round and not have a scratch. Easy to trick them. But there's more. They think that JFK Jr. is still alive. They think that Michael Jackson is still alive. I think that they think that they are alive together in like the in-between place. And that they're gonna come back. I think maybe they're gonna come back together and save maybe not us, but they're gonna save somebody. They believe some crazy shit. And you probably shouldn't go down the rabbit hole because it'll make your life worse, but I did. I went down the rabbit hole. There's a lot of, I won't list them all because it'll bring you great sadness. But my favorite one, I'm really bringing the energy down with this. See, I'm like, this is getting sad. One of the most terrifying ones is adrenochrome. Do you guys know about adrenochrome? Just a few people. Okay. Well, don't feel bad, because no crowds ever know. And I was surprised, because the first time I did it, I did the joke assuming they would know. And they all looked at me like, they looked like they were doing a Mitch McConnell impersonation. Everybody in the room was just... frozen in time, you know? And I was like, y'all don't know what it is? And they're like, no. I was like, holy shit. So let me tell you what it is, so we're all on the same page. They believe, QAnon people, and it's not dozens of people, unfortunately. I wish it was. It's not dozens of people. It's not hundreds of people. It's not even thousands of people. It's tens of thousands of people believe this. They believe that Democrats, you guys, are going around and kidnapping children, probably from the basement of the pizza place without a basement, and you torture the children until adrenaline is released into their blood, and then you drain the blood with the adrenaline in it, hence the name, adrenochrome, and then you drink the blood as a youth elixir. It's funny, but it's fucking terrifying too. They believe that we are all going around drinking adrenochrome kid blood youth elixir. Right? And I'm like, that's clearly not true, or we would have given some to Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like, right? Listen, I like Joe too. I'm riding with Biden, but we would have given him some of that youth elixir, wouldn't we have? We would have been like, Paw. Get that adrenochrome. Finish that Red Bull before you go out there. And just be like, man, shut up. Just go, man, shut up. You're gonna win. Joe Biden out here single-handedly proving that adrenochrome is not real. Donald Trump is out here single-handedly proving that the deep state is not real. Right? Every morning I wake up, I'm like, come on, deep state. I was hoping it really did exist. What a fucking bummer. I've never rooted for the CIA in my life. 10 times a day, I'm like, CIA, why don't you do your fucking job? He's having a parade. They're all gonna be in one place. Send a drone. Don't stage it this time. You know. But it's like, you gotta think, here's a way to sum up the entire political climate. 2 dudes with 9 marriages between them are selling a USA Bible that's made in China. And you can have one too for $69.99. If you only had one sentence to sum it all up with, that's a pretty good one, you know? I don't want people to think I'm one of those people, you know? I know that sounds a little bit weird, but like, I'm a middle-aged, husky, bearded, southern white dude, you know? I don't want to be mistaken for one of these people, you know? But people do it all the time. They will. They'll see me and be like, hey man, same team. I'm like, no, Don't you dare talk to me about the issues. So I've been trying to figure out, like, how can I set myself apart? So I've been trying to get in better shape. And now listen, some of y'all are like, what is that? I don't understand the correlation. Let me tell you, no matter how many hikes I go on or how many green smoothies I drink, I still got this fucking Ted Cruz neck, you know what I mean? And it's like a bigot neck. Look at it. It looks racist. Because they all got that fat neck. Tucker Carlson's got that neck. Sean Hannity's got that neck. Think about it. Run them through your head right now. Slideshow. All got a racist neck. It's a bigot neck. It's like a neck cankle is what it is. It's a little shoulder top muffin top. Like it ought to have a little rebel flag tramp stamp on the back. They all got that bigot neck. Rush Limbaugh used to have that bigot neck. Lindsey Graham's got it, you know. Mike Huckabee, Sarah Huckabee. Again, I know we shouldn't body shame, but I'll make an exception for Nazis. There's at least one liberal in here that's like, don't body shame people. I make exceptions for Nazis and you should too. I will body shame the shit out of a Nazi. That's the problem. We're like, don't body shame the Nazis. I'm like, they just arrested a mayor. I think it's time to quit being nice to them. Oh, it's so crazy. I know you're thinking, he didn't mention the most famous neck of them all, Mitch McConnell. But I don't talk about Mitch McConnell's neck because I feel like people are so mean about his neck. And I'm like, man, your neck would look like that too if you didn't have a spine. And that's a joke about Mitch McConnell being a piece of shit. That's a bipartisan crowd pleaser right there. If you think Mitch McConnell's a good dude, you're a truly terrible human being. What about the big guy? What about his neck? What about Trump's neck? Trump doesn't have bigot neck, oddly enough. Trump has pussy neck. Have you seen it? Holy shit. It's got a little vagina right on the front. Right, it's a good looking little hoo-ha too. It's nice. It's a little camel toe. It's all tan and shaved. It reminds me of Spring Break 2003, Panama City Beach. I start feeling nostalgia. I can't even tell you the conflicting emotions I feel. I got a semi looking at the neck of a man I hate more than the ferocity of 1,000 suns. I wish he'd quit talking, but that's a damn good looking neck, hoo-ha. I hope everybody's seen it, but if you haven't, you're gonna look at it tonight and you're gonna be like, holy shit. That does look just like a nice vagina. It doesn't look like a vagina, it looks like a nice vagina. I'm sorry to say that word so many times. For the record, I didn't want to, I did it for you. I did it for the fight against fascism. It's great, and I'm like, no wonder these incels love him. That's the only time they get a chance to see a pussy, you know? I get it, Ben Shapiro. I get it, Charlie Kirk. One of my friends was like, if I ever met him, I'd punch him in the face. Like, I wouldn't. I'd go up and tickle his little neck pussy. He would hate that shit. Just, oh, sir. You go look at it online after the show. You're going to be like, holy shit, it does look just like a vagina. Just like it. Just like it. Oh, and if you want to make a true diehard MAGA mad, you talk about that neck puss, they get furious. Nothing hurts their heart like that. If he moves the right way, you can see a little clitoris at the top, and it's at the top, guys. It's at the top. Some of y'all are like, is it at the top? It's at the top. Always been at the top. Keep looking. Don't give up. I'm just trying to wingman some people here. Oh man, they gotta have a boogeyman. There's got to be somebody to be mean to distract from the real issues. They're like, hey, excuse me, stupid person. We're gonna take everything you had. We're gonna make your wages lower, all your cost of living higher, wealth inequality is gonna increase, income inequality is gonna increase, even your taxes are gonna increase while ours go down. We're gonna take everything. But there's a trans person swimming. Go get him! If you would have told me 15 years ago that I was going to have to listen to racist rednecks pretend to care about women swimming and that liberals were going to be torching electric cars, I'd have told you to go fuck yourself. I wouldn't have believed it. We got rednecks worried to death about women's sports, and liberals are setting electric cars on fire. What a weird time to be alive. I mean, don't stop. Don't get me wrong. Don't stop. Don't burn them. Don't burn them if they belong to people, because they might have bought them before. But definitely the dealerships. Don't tell Pam Bondi I said that. She might use some of the $115,000 a month she was receiving from the Qatari government to come after me. She's a patriot, though. I don't want them swimming. You realize they think that a biological male has transitioned to female just to win at swimming. And this is why we need the awareness, you know what I mean? Because if you knew what it takes to go from male to female and all the fucking the judgment and the medical process, the hormones, all of it, you'd be like, well, he probably did it for a different reason, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, Billy Bob, I got a sneaking suspicion that nobody cut their ding-a-ling off to win the swim meet, okay? I bet you they were trying to be their truest selves, and the swimming is a coincidence. Just a hunch. It's funny for an entire political party to be that obsessed with genitals and not notice that none of their leaders have balls, you know? You'd think somebody would have mentioned it, right? But the entire narrative is, well, that's just a man that can't win unless he only competes with women. That's all it is. It's a man that can't beat men, so he only competes against women. He can't beat a man, he can only beat women. I'm like, yeah, like Donald Trump in his presidential races. Call a spade a spade. He only ran against a man once and he lost by 8 million. Seems a little trans, Don. Especially with them titties and that neck puss. Seems like you can only beat women. And you also beat women. He's a sexual abuser and a pedophile. Sorry. That's a callback, I guess. And they're attacking everything that is American, right? They're committing political suicide because they don't plan to let you vote anymore. That's why. It seems like they don't care because they don't. I don't think that we're going to beat them in the midterms. I think we're going to have to burn some shit down before that. But that's my humble opinion. That was my Donald Trump impersonation. They're going against everything American. Now he's like throwing miners under the bus. Like he's cutting cancer research for coal miners. I'm like 99.9% of those dudes voted for you. You know, it's like, it's so crazy. I mean, it's not the first time he's fucked miners, but still, like, he's a pedophile. That's a joke about him being a pedophile. He might be trans because he can only beat women. And he also beats women. But, yeah, he's a pedophile that beats women. I'm just trying to clarify what I'm saying. Jeffrey Epstein's best friend is here to hashtag save the children. Sometimes I think it would be kind of funny to go work for him, though. Like, I'm not going to, but it would be, like, really easy to trick him. I would just fucking sabotage him all the time. Did y'all see that interview where he's like, Terry, it says MS-13 on his hand. Somebody took a picture of Kilmar Brega Garcia's hand and put it in like Canva and put Times New Roman MS-13 on it. And this motherfucker thinks it's a tattoo. And he believes it too. I saw the interview, I was like, he really does believe it. Like, I knew he was dumb. I did not know he was that dumb. Like, he is fucking dumb. It's so crazy. I would be fucking with him all the time. I would. I'd be like, sir, you have a meeting with Kristi Noem at 3 o'clock today. Little inside joke we've all been doing. We would like for you to act like a naughty little puppy, okay? Just do some barking. Do some barking. Some of you are going to have to Google Kristi Noem and puppy on your way home to get that joke. It's kind of dark. I like to write this kind of comedy, you know, but it's not always easy to write this kind of comedy. Like, it's easier to write farts and dicks and stuff. And I got some of that too. The next special is nothing but farts and dicks. But I like to write, you know, I want to say something. I've always wanted to use my comedy to say something. And it's hard to write that type of material, so I use mushrooms and acid. And yeah, it helps a lot. And I don't want anybody to worry, because inevitably there's somebody in here that goes, oh, the drugs? And they're not drugs, they're magic. Right? Meth is a drug, okay? Nobody's ever stolen a flat screen TV to get more acid, I promise. And if they did, they then did the acid and brought the TV back. Gave it back to the I'm bringing this back because I realize that we're one human family, and whatever I do to myself, I also do to you. And I cleaned it. I actually cleaned it and serviced it, and I put batteries in the remote. And I got you a Blu-ray DVD player. I know that nobody really watches DVDs anymore, but I just want to, sorry, namaste, But it helps me write, I don't do it all the time, but I do it for a little mental reset, and it helps me write jokes. And I like to do it, several times a year, space it out every couple months. But I want to tell you the story of when I wrote this next joke. So this isn't the joke, this is the story of the day that I wrote the joke. Follow? You with me? So I was in Ohio, terrible place, and don't go unless you have to, but If there's a couple redeeming places in Ohio. One's called Nelson Kennedy Ledges State Park. The other one's called Hocking Hills State Park. Really beautiful, beautiful places. So I was doing shows in multiple cities, and so I was like, this is a central place to camp. So I was trying to find a campground. This is back when I was full-on Rolling Stone. I didn't have a care in the world. I was never home. I was on the road all the time. Wasn't doing a lot of family stuff. I wasn't keeping up with holidays. I didn't realize it was Labor Day weekend. All the campsites were full. I drove to 4 campgrounds. Finally, the 4th campground had 1 spot left because the people had canceled. And the guy, if you've ever gone camping, when you get your spot, they pull out a paper map and they slap it down on the desk and they go, okay, buddy, you want to go on down this is Acorn Squirrel Balls Loop right here. That's site 1 through 49 right there, okay? You want to go over to just Bunny Rabbit Butthole Loop right here. That's all the RV sites. That's a bathhouse. That's a volleyball court, okay? You're going to take a left at the volleyball court, and that's your site right there. And I was like, that's me right there? He's like, yeah. I was like, what's that right there? He goes, that's the playground. And I was like, I was hoping to not be beside the playground. I was like, do you think anybody would like to switch with me? Is there anybody who checked in recently that has children that would like to be beside the playground and I could be in the site that is not beside the playground? He's like, I don't think so, man. So I go over there to the playground. And listen, it's not that I don't want to hear kids or what. I don't care about the noise or whatever. It's just I'm a, middle-aged white dude traveling by myself on a holiday weekend in a fucking campground full of families. And I'm in a van with no windows, just. And I had a ton of candy to give out. No, I'm kidding. But it's like, I don't want to be beside the playground, And here's the thing, when I'm camping in my van, I don't take anything out of it. It's all in there. The bed's in there. I got a cooler, it's in there. There's a sink in there. Like, I don't set up a tent or throw up a hammock or I just, because I'm always on the go. I don't take anything out of the van. So it's just a van. Van playground. And just me sitting at a picnic table reading a magazine. Or I was looking at the pictures, but you know what I'm saying. And families are going by and they're like, okay, come on, Johnny, come on, bud. I'm like, whoa, I don't even like your kid platonically, okay? But the next day I ate some acid. Not at the playground. I went into the state park, and this place is beautiful. It's aggregate glacial rock formations. It's boulders the size of this building, and when you get up close to them, you realize they're made of billions of tiny little pea-sized river rock. It's mind-blowing. Moss everywhere, ferns everywhere, roots growing down the rocks. Beautiful. Couple little trickling waterfalls. Great place to eat psychotropics. So I'm thrilled. I'm having a blast. And I ate 3 hits, and I shouldn't have. And I got this acid from a man named George, dear friend of mine. He's in his 70s. He's been eating acid since the first time it was cool. He never stopped eating acid. He also lives in a van. It's not as nice as mine, but it doesn't matter because he's enlightened, right? His acid is incredibly powerful. And I kind of wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking more like it was Scott's acid. Scott's also one of my best friends. His acid's fine, but it's not like George's, So I kind of took the acid as if it was from Scott, and it wasn't. It was from George. I took 3, and I should have taken like a half of 1, It's fine. I've done a lot of this, but it was a lot. So I get to the state park, and I'm, I took it to where I knew I'd be fine until I got there. I get there, and I've been hiking for 20 minutes, and I start feeling it. I'm like, whew, probably shouldn't have taken 3, And if you've ever done it, you know that like you kind of your eyes are wide open, and you might be like crying from the gratitude that you feel for being able to connect to the universe. So I'm crying from joy, and I feel a feeling of euphoria throughout my entire body, and I can't stop smiling. And some people are introverted when they're on these substances. Not me. I am more extroverted, so I'm out just cracking dad jokes on the hiking trail. Somebody hikes by with their baby in their backpack. I'm like, that's so cool that you brought your baby. I always leave mine in the car. I'm just making terrible jokes. People either love that or hate it. A lot of people do not like it much at all. I like to walk up beside somebody staring at a waterfall and be like, this place is a real dump, huh? Every once in a while, somebody would be like, why would you say that? It's really nice. I'm like, holy shit. Some people are fucking insane. But, so I'm tripping my balls off. And I'm just smiling from the joy, you know what I mean? The euphoria of knowing that I'm connected to all living things and all the energy in the universe. And I'm crying from my gratitude, you know? So I'm like this. But I'm having the time of my life, and I'm just tripping my balls off. I'm like high-fiving kids. I'm like, look at this waterfall, buddy. Are you fucking kidding me? And the dad's like, come on, bud, come on. The kid's like, that guy is so happy. Like, he's on drugs, son. Nobody's that happy. I'm like, they're not drugs. It's magic, you know? I'm having the time of my life. I get to a point in the trail where I'm by myself, and it is hitting me hard. Like, my body is vibrating. And I'm just like, you know, just feel full of gratitude and this connection to nature and just the beauty around me. And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful day. This place is so gorgeous. And the trees are like, you know, kind of dancing, and the wind is blowing, the temperature's perfect. And I'm like, what kind of trees are these? Oh, these are huge trees. These are bigger than any trees I've seen in North Carolina. I wonder what kind of, these are beech trees? It could be ash. Maybe they're ash trees. I just feel so grateful to be in such a beautiful place, connecting with nature. I'm doing stand-up comedy for millions of dollars. That was a joke. And I get back to where I started my spin, and there was a pilgrim. Like a full size, not full size, it was a tween, teenage. I don't know how old it was. It was a pilgrim. It was not an adult pilgrim, it was smaller than that. But it was a pilgrim. I'm talking fucking Plymouth Rock, Mayflower, Turkey Hand pilgrim, genocide pilgrim, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was a little girl pilgrim, and she had a bonnet. She had on a bonnet. Some of y'all don't know what a bonnet is, and you shouldn't. People quit wearing them 500 years ago, okay? But it's a thing that they make the ladies cover up their hair so nobody got hard, you know? They didn't want anybody self-abusing. Evidently, hair is pretty horny back then. Cover your hair, Sarah Beth. She had a bonnet on and like an ankle-length skirt. It's all muted colors, you know? It's like the colors of carpet or whatever. It looks real. She had a apron and little like Mary Jane looking shoes, and I was like, no, because my brain was like, no way. What? Why is there a pilgrim in the woods? Because I've never seen something that wasn't there. Like, I mean, I've seen a tree catch on fire that wasn't really on fire, and I've seen a flower turn into a firecracker, but I never saw a fucking pilgrim that wasn't there before I did the twirl, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like hiding behind this rock. I'm like, that's not real. That's not real. Maybe I'm not real. Maybe she's real and I'm not real. And she doesn't see me, and I'm not far away from her, but she doesn't see me, and she's not looking at me at all. And I was like, maybe I went to another dimension or something. I'm like legitimately getting terrified, and I'm like, I'm gonna spin again, and maybe she'll be gone when I get back. So I go back into the spin. I'm like, what a beautiful day. Oh, these trees are incredible. They gotta be beech trees, I would think. She'll be gone. I get back to the top of this. She'll be gone. I probably opened a portal when I spinned the first time. I get back to the 12 o'clock position, and there's a whole gang of them. A whole gang of pilgrims, a whole gang of teenage pilgrims, boys and girls. And the boys have on those tall hats with the buckles on the front, like the guy from the oatmeal box. And they got like boots with buckles, and they're wearing like coveralls or overalls. I don't know. I don't know the difference, but y'all might, Western North Carolina. But fucking pilgrims, you know? And at this point, I'm scared to death. And I start hiding behind this rock, and I'm just watching them, and I was like, this is the craziest shit that's ever happened in my life. And I mean, I'm literally like, I'm not gonna do acid anymore after today. And then I'm looking close and I'm like, what are they? They are drinking tiny cans of Bud Light. And then my next thought is, why do those exist? Who needs a tiny can of Bud Light? Like, what person is like, I want a little one, man. I want to get warm before I crush it, you know? And this is years ago before Bud Light was gay, you know? It's gay now. Shoot it with a gun, you know? They're drinking tiny cans of Bud Light, and they're smoking long-ass skinny cigarettes, like Virginia Slims. And my brain just can't. I'm like, nah. And I was scared, because I didn't know if they were good pilgrims or not. I was like, these fucking time-traveling pilgrims with their modern beer and cigarettes. And I've watched too many scary movies, too. You know, they were young pilgrims, and I'm scared of young people. Right? I'm scared of young people and old people. No offense, old people, but I've watched a lot of scary movies, and that's always who the tricksters are, you know? So I was waiting for these pilgrims any minute to get a monster face and come at me real fast in a crab walk or some shit. Because all the new horror movies are like, you know, old horror movies like a guy in a hockey mask with a chainsaw. And now the horror movies are like creepy children and creepy elderly people. And I have both of those at my house, you know what I mean? So I'm just constantly on edge, like I live in a fucking haunted house. I go to the refrigerator in the middle of the night to get some water out. I close the refrigerator door, I'm like, ah! It's my mom. She's like, can you help me with my CPAP mask? I'm like, ah, what the fuck? Then I turn the corner into the hallway and the 7-year-old's like, my pee-pee hurts. I'm like, tell your mom, Jesus. Take a bath, put lotion on it. So I just ran. I ran from those pilgrims. And I make it about a half mile up the trail, and I'm trying to process it, and I can't. And now I'm running, and I see 2 people coming at me this way. And right when I see the people, I start hearing music. And I'm like, holy shit, auditory hallucinations. I've never really had that other than some white noise swirling in my head when I was trying to sleep. So it's like EDM, like shitty, you know, the shittiest music. No offense, it's shitty, it's terrible. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this right now. And these people are coming at me, and as they get closer, they're like maybe my age or a little younger. He's got on like patchwork pants, like the hippie patchwork pants, all different colors. And she's got like everything pierced on your face that you can pierce. It looked so good. And it did, it looked really good. So as I get up close to, and of course I'm still like, I'm scared, but I'm still joyful. I'm like, hey, this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but I took some acid. And the dude goes, yeah, bro, we're on mushrooms. I was like, yes, thank goodness. And I go, do you hear music? And he goes, there's a music festival on the other side of those woods. I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was like, all right, this is gonna sound a little bit crazy. I saw pilgrims. And this dude laughed at me harder than anybody's ever laughed at me. I've been a stand-up comedian for 14 years and nobody's ever laughed at me as hard as this dude laughed at me. It hurt my feelings. After about minute 3, it hurt my feelings. I was like, turns out I am not as funny as I thought I was. And this dude's just like, finally, after about 7 minutes, I mean, he's like, oh, oh. And he could tell I'm in it, you know? He stands up, he goes, you're not from here, are you? And I go, no. He goes, you're in Amish country, brother. I was like, okay, smart guy, that explains 70% of it. They were drinking tiny cans of Bud Light and smoking Virginia Slims. And that's when he tells me about Rumspringa. Listen, hold on, which sounds Jewish, but it's not, you know? When I first heard it, I was like, is that Jewish? Yeah. There's a Jewish person in here like, Rumspringa, is that us? But it's Amish. It's Amish, and they what it is when the kids get to a certain age, they give them the option of like, you can either go out and the world and experience the world, or you can stay with everything you've ever known and loved and trusted with all of your family and friends and community and customs and everything you know. Or, you know, if you want to leave the cult, you can go into the smoke cigarettes in the woods. Y'all gonna pull back on cult? Is that what we're doing? After everything we've been through together tonight? It's a cult, guys. It's a good cult. I recognize that it's a good cult, but it's still a cult. I know they build birdhouses and rocking chairs. I get it. They got cool beards and good names like Jebediah and Ezekiel. I understand. It's still a cult. I don't know the women's names. They're not allowed to talk, but it's a cult. If you build a farmhouse in 2025 with no pipes or wires, you're in a cult, okay? Sorry. I just thought that was such bullshit. You're gonna give these kids this option of everything you know, love, and trust, or Virginia Slims in the state park, you know? And it made me angry. So I found the kids. I ran back down the trail. I found the kids. I did. I gave every one of them a hit of George's acid, and they all left the cult. They're actually outside. They can't come in. They're not 18, but it took us forever to get here. In that wagon. It's only 1 horsepower. But that's not the joke. That's the day I wrote the joke. So, here's the joke. This joke popped into my head after my encounter with the Alms. I was swimming in a lake at that campground where I was camping beside the playground. And, you know, the acid is starting to wear off, and I'm just swimming in a sunset, talking to this old couple, just having a blast. And this joke just popped into my head because I had been wanting to write a joke about this premise. Here's the premise. I think that there are closeted progressives. I think there are people living in the South that think and feel and believe everything that I think and feel and believe, but they're scared to say it because they don't want all their loved ones to stop loving them, right? Yeah. And I think they're getting found out in weird ways. And that's what this joke is about. Like, I just picture a couple redneck brothers like, hey, TJ, what's up, dude? Do me a favor, man. I saw that you shared that Facebook post I did. Just make sure Pawpaw don't see it. Man, you know, he ain't gonna be around forever, and it would just break his heart if he knew that I thought all people are equal, you know what I'm saying? Here's the joke. That's not the joke either. Here's the joke. So much build-up. It's not even that good. But you're gonna be like, that's the joke? So here's the joke. There's a guy running late for a Klan meeting, okay? Stay with me. I know it's a weird start. Stay with me. He's running late for a Klan meeting. He gets home to his trailer, and no offense to anybody. It's nothing wrong with a trailer. I'm just saying if Klan membership and trailer ownership was a Venn diagram, it'd be a fucking circle, right? Most city trailers and the White House, you know, and so he gets home and he runs in the door. He's like, Crystal, where's my sheets at? I'm gonna be late for the Klan meeting. I need my sheet. And she's like, I don't know where your sheets at, Donnie. It's not my job to keep up with sheets. So he goes to the linen closet and he's looking for his white sheet. He can't find it. And he's just frustrateder than shit. And he's like, I got a MAGA sheet, I got my camouflage, I got my Duck Dynasty sheet, I got my monster truck sheet. He can't find his white sheet. And he's like, fuck it, this just gonna have to do, I can't be late. So he puts on he got like a light beige. He's like, this will be fine, you know, it's dark out there. The only light is the cross, you know. He puts that sheet on, he cuts out some holes for the eyes, like a little racist ghost. And he goes and gets in his pickup truck with the camouflage trim all the way along the bottom to trick the deer. You think that ever works? You think there's ever some deer in the woods like, hey, Larry, is that a truck right there? I don't know, buddy. I don't see any trim. Probably fine, just eat that grass. Famous last words. So he gets to the Klan meeting in his light beige, dark cream sheet. He runs in, he's like, y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. And the head Klan dude, his name is Marco. Ironically. He's got huge ears. And he goes, what the fuck is that, Donnie? He's like, what are you talking about? It's just a sheet. He's like, yeah, I see it's a sheet, bro. It ain't white. And this is the Klan, we wear white sheets. And it ain't white. He's like, well, it's almost white. It's like light beige. It's really more conducive with a Caucasian skin tone if you think about it. It's like dark cream. And he's like, hell no, Donnie. We wear white sheets or nothing. And you're late. And the Klan has a really strict attendance policy for this joke. You're fucking out of here. And Donnie can't believe it. He's like, you kidding me right now? It's still me under here. Still Donnie. Same person. I can't believe y'all getting this caught up on color. I tell you what, I ain't even a racist, okay? I just wanted to hang out with y'all. Everybody in this town's racist. Am I supposed to just not have any friends? I hooked up with a Pakistani girl at summer camp in '98, and she was nice as shit. We're still friends on Facebook. Now we all feel bad for Donnie, right? Okay? Just trying to have a little compassion. People, one of the other times I got radicalized is I accidentally got some kids. I didn't mean to. I like kids. I never wanted any of my own. You know, I'm more like the fun uncle. Show up 5 times a year, throw you in the pool, drink too many margaritas, sleep in the van. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy you count on to fund a college account. You know, it's just not. People don't think of me when they think of stability. That's not really my bag. But I never wanted kids, but their mom is really hot, and so now I have kids. And I love them. I'm thrilled. I mean, and I love them so much. But I had to really think about it. I had to give it a lot of thought. I didn't want to break anybody's heart. I certainly didn't want to break 3 people's hearts at once. I had to make sure I thought I could do it. And once I decided I thought I could at least try, I went for it. And that was 4 years ago, roughly. But when I met them, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's cool. They just now realized why I'm around. It's kind of crazy. Because we didn't want to rush them. We didn't want to push it on them. We thought we were being conscious parents, you know? We thought we were like doing some enlightened parenting. And it turns out we were just being we were like putting way too high of expectations on these kids. We're like, they're gonna figure it out. We'll let them call me whatever they want to call me when they decide. And we realized not long ago they had no fucking idea what I was doing there. Because the 7-year-old, he's 7 now, he's 3 when I met him. He's autistic, and he's the sweetest, cutest kid you ever seen in your life. But he's like a cat, you know? He's like a cat that you really want to pet, and he doesn't really want you to pet him. I'm always like, you want to ride bikes? And he's like, no, Legos. You know, like he doesn't care. The only person he cares that is alive is his mom. I'm like a distant 16th place. He'll go days without acknowledging my existence, you know? And I'm always like, hey, bud, hey, okay, all right, we'll see you tomorrow, you know? And the big brother's the other way. He's a hyperactive puppy with attachment issues. You know, he's just like, hey, what's it? Watch this, watch, hey, watch, hey, watch. Mom, watch, Cliff, watch this, watch. Are you watching? Watch. And then you go, okay, bud, what is it? And he'll go. You're like, dude, that is fucking amazing, bro. You killed that. This one night at dinner, he comes and sits down right beside me, and he goes, I want to sit beside my stepdad. And I was like, oh, he never called me that before. And I was like, oh my God, he figured it out. And I looked at her and she was like, she goes, they kind of started asking me like what your deal is. This is after like 3 years. They were like, so what's up with this dude? She was like, he's kind of like your stepdad. And they were like, oh, holy shit, man. That makes total sense now that I think about it. Oh, I thought he worked for us or something. I didn't know. Oh, I'm sorry I talked to him that way. But the night that I fell for them, I'd already fallen for their mom, but and I was really starting to like love these kids. And that same kid, he was 3 at the time, she's putting him to bed. We were all sitting on the couch, and she goes, I'm gonna go put him to bed. And they get halfway across the room, and the 3-year-old turns around and kind of runs back to me and hugs me and says, I love you. And I was like, looking back now, I'm pretty sure she told him to, but at the time, it just melted me. And then the big brother was like, love you too, dog. You know, he didn't want to be shown up by his little brother. So she takes him upstairs to tuck him in, and it was a memorable day for another reason. It was the day of the Uvalde school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. And she and I had been trying not to think about it the entire day, because that's what you do. You know, you try not to think about it, and thoughts and prayers. Like that fucking does anything, you know? And you hear people on the right, they go through their whole list of stupid shit they say, thoughts and prayers being the most obvious and ridiculous. But as I was trying to think about it all day, and I pull out my phone and I start scrolling and reading about it, and I hear this voice pop into my head that said, only thing stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. It was a stupid voice. It was a stupid voice saying a stupid sentence. And I kept scrolling, and I read that there were 167 good guys with guns that did nothing for an hour and 9 minutes while 19 people lost their lives. And I just thought, what a fucking stupid thing to say. That's something that nobody should say anymore. And I thought about these kids. And I thought about how I wasn't really even trying to have kids. I'm so glad that I do now. I love them so much, but I wasn't. I was deliberately trying to be kidless, you know? It just didn't work. And I think about these parents, some of these people, all they ever wanted was kids. Some of these people, the number one thing they wanted in their lives was to be a parent. And they sent those kids to school to learn how to read or spell or add, and they're not gonna come home. And it just broke my heart in a profound way. And I guess it was the moment that I sort of started to get at least a glimpse of what it really feels like to be a parent on one of those days. And she came back downstairs, and I was sobbing. I wasn't crying, I was sobbing. I was heaving, sobbing. And she sat down beside me, and she was like, what's going on? And I said, I just think about it, like, something happened to these kids, you know? And like, I don't know where I would get my adrenochrome. One sick fuck clapping over there. But I got mad reading about these armed officers, these people standing outside the building with guns and did nothing. Standing outside that building doing nothing, those fucking cowards. But then I tried to have some compassion. I tried to think about the issue holistically from every angle, and I thought, I don't blame them for being scared. I don't blame them. It's scary. It's scary when somebody's busting off 60 rounds a minute inside a building. It's natural to be scared. I'm not surprised by that. There's some small town cops in some small town where this shit doesn't happen all the time. Of course they were scared. I would have liked them to be brave, but I'm not surprised that they weren't. I need people to be brave when they step into the halls of Congress to fight for my community, to fight for my family, to pass laws that help me and that help you. to stand up to fascists and Nazis and white supremacists, to protect the Constitution, to fight for what this country was founded on and what it's never been, but what it could be. That's when I need people to be brave. Because right now, just like those cops stood outside that building and did nothing, our Congress is standing outside the White House doing nothing. And until we flood the streets of D.C., we are standing outside doing nothing. And I refuse to do nothing. And saying all that to say this, I would love it if you and everybody you know would join me in Washington, D.C., June the 6th. We're going to have a veteran-centric protest on the National Mall. Dropkick Murphys is playing a full set. We have a bunch of other really exciting guests that we're not announcing yet. I'm going to try to do a comedy show somewhere, sometime during that weekend around D.C. I'm also going to organize a Heritage Foundation protest that same weekend, and a Fox News and CNN protest that same weekend. So,
and I don't want thoughts and prayers. I want courage and leadership. I don't want thoughts and prayers. I want plans and action. I don't want thoughts and prayers. I want people to have a fucking spine and stand up for this country. Because they're breaking every single rule that this country has ever been governed by, and we're still worried about making sure we have permits for our protest in the park. It's time to fight these fascist fucks. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you later.